Hi everyone, my name is John, and I am a hardware engineer here at Thundercomm. We are creating a series of videos that take you through an in-depth exploration of our newly launched product, the first ever open source development kit powered by Qualcomm, RUBIK Pi 3. By the end of this first episode, you'll have a general idea of its features, capabilities, and how to get started with it. So, let's jump right in. With all the development kits on the market today, you may be wondering, what makes our device worth buying? Let me explain. RUBIK Pi 3 is equipped with a powerful Qualcomm processor, the QCS6490, which provides a stellar 12 TOPS of AI computing power. To sweeten the deal, our board comes equipped with vast interfaces that are compatible with existing Raspberry Pi 5 sensors and peripherals, such as the sensor hat, camera modules, power supply, and fan. Finally, we have a user-friendly open source community, extensive public documentation, and a responsible and knowledgeable support team to match. Let's take a moment to examine the box. On this side, you will find the serial number for your board. On this side, you will find the certification markings, as well as a QR code to our open source GitHub repository. Finally, on the back, you will see the FCC ID of the board, as well as a warning for all of our EU users. Now, let's take a look inside the box. On the top, you'll see that we provided some stickers for you. You can put them anywhere, you're welcome. Now for the important things. First, you will find a safety and quick start guide, which I encourage you to read thoroughly before using this product. Finally, we have the RUBIK Pi 3 board itself. On the top, you'll notice a warning for electrostatic discharge, so please handle the product with care. Now, let's take a deeper look at the board itself. In the middle, you will see the Thundercomm Turbo X C6490P SOM, which provides a stellar 12 TOPS of AI performance. For customers who are looking for a stronger or weaker processor, the C6490P is also pin-to-pin compatible with the Turbo X C8550 and C5430 SOMs. Now, let's look at the other interfaces. To start, we have an RTC battery connector, a micro USB port for debugging, a 3.5mm headphone jack, a USB 3.1 Type-C port with DisplayPort, a USB 2.0 Type-A port with host and device mode, two USB 3.0 Type-A ports, one Ethernet port, one HDMI out port, one Type-C power delivery input power port, our power on and EDL buttons, two MIPI camera connectors, our fan connector, and our 40-pin low-speed connector interface. On the bottom of the board, we have an M.2 connector for solid-state drives. Now that we've gone over the interfaces for this board, let's see how we can boot it up. For this, you will also need a USB Type-C for your ADB login. You will also need another USB Type-C power delivery for the input power. Finally, you will need an HDMI cable to connect to the HDMI out port of the board. With all of this out of the way, let's boot this little thing up. First, we have to plug in all of our cables, saving the power supply for last. First, we're going to plug in our Type-C cable, which goes to our PC for ADB login. Next, we're going to plug in our HDMI out cable, which goes to a display so that we can see the RUBIK Pi 3 screen. Next, we're going to plug in our camera FPC, ensuring that the contacts are pointed towards the center of the board. Then we push down on the black tab, and if you install it correctly, you should be able to pull on the cable without it coming loose. Finally, we can plug in our power supply. Once this is done, the board should automatically boot up and you should see a yellow LED indicating that power is supplied. Now that we successfully got the device to boot up, let's try logging into it. If you already have the platform tools for ADB downloaded, the first command we're going to do is ADB devices. If the drivers are successfully installed, you should see one device, which is your RUBIK Pi 3. Next, we're going to do ADB roots, and then ADB shell to go into the device. Now, to bring up the camera, we have a list of instructions in section 2.4.2 of the user manual. So let's go take a look at that. Once we have found section 2.4.2, we have to input these three commands first. Just copy the text here. And paste it into your terminal. Next, after copying these two commands, you can verify the success of them by traversing to the directory, list sources, and you'll see the camx override settings.txt. Then to look at more, we do camx override, and you should see the results of the two commands written down here, the multi-camera XML file and the NCS service false. Once those are verified, we can continue to the next set of instructions, which are here. So we can copy all of these commands. Make sure you get everything copied here. And then we'll just paste it. Paste anyways. And if everything's formatted correctly, we got a camera preview. Hello world! And here we have the director and the cameraman too. Well, that's enough talking for an introduction, don't you think? I hope by now you have a good idea about the overall device and its features, as well as the satisfaction of that initial boot. For the next episode, we will further explore the hardware interfaces and how to bring them up. Until then, try not to break your board and enjoy! Oh yeah, I almost forgot. The boss told me to be quiet about this, but he's not here right now. For you Debian enthusiasts, we have a Debian 12 Linux build coming very, very soon. That's all for today. See you next time.